I just saw this,
Everywhere has its ups and downs.
I just saw this whole cap gains tax proposal, and I want to throw up. But
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
What, dude?
And then the unrealized taxes on unrealized gains. That's like the most
Can I do it on like
ever.
what about realized losses, like, or unrealized losses? Like, can I bet on that? Like,
can they start paying me for all my unrealized losses?
Oh, one can hope. One can hope. But anyway. All right. Well, we're a couple minutes in. So before folks jump into the deck or whatever, we had a good time, and I know that people will probably cover this in their slides, but we were out at a Rare Evo last week. It was Drew and Jenny and Carlos and I were the main ones out there. It was awesome. Like, we kind of went in there. We didn't really we knew some of the folks working on different Cardano projects, but we were really unfamiliar with the ecosystem. And I've engaged with a bunch of people from the Cardano community on X and just online here and there, but really kind of went in there blind on like how the ecosystem was. But it wasn't even only a Cardano event. There were L2s and there were other blockchains there as well, which was cool. But it was really a good experience. I think the event wasn't in it wasn't like Consensus where it's buildings and buildings. It was in some ballrooms or whatever, but there were a ton of people there. And it's an interesting community. Like, people are like, they will die with their Cardano in hand if right alongside it, or live or die kind of thing. And you have people that are super passionate about the project. And the really interesting thing too was, like, we had a lot of great people stop by the booth. And I was just asking them, obviously there's always a lot going on in these things, but like, what are the dApps that we need to know about? We've got these users we want to kind of, we're talking about potentially integrating Cardano into our wallet. Like, what dApps would you recommend I check out? And it was really kind of cool because, you talk to enough people and enough people give you enough square positions on things, and you're like, okay, cool. Like, there are different like table stakes that are stood up in the ecosystem. It feels like other ecosystems, like early days, but these guys have been around for a while. So I think it's a good mix of people that are super excited about there being movement now. Like, and now you've got like dApps that are emerging in the space that people are getting more and more use on, that need more growth. And we're kind of showing up, engaging with folks and learning more. It was pretty good. Like, and then I did a panel, which is really cool, with a bunch of people around how AI and crypto will intersect, and it was pretty friendly group of people that we were on stage with. Charles Hoskinson was there, like giving a keynote, and there was like standing room only for that. But it was kind of cool too. Like, they were saying a lot of things like that, a lot of similar things to the ethos we have here, where building in the open. They're thinking about stuff on pretty long time horizons, but like doing the difficult stuff. And it was good. Like, I was impressed with a lot of the vibes from the community were fantastic. Like, a lot of really great people, a lot of people that are like, more multi-chain than anything, but also a lot of people that have been building and stuck with the community for a long time that are excited for what's going on. So that was pretty cool. All in all, we had some great leads from it, had some really killer meetings and got some things done. There's that going on. I think other stuff too, there's more and more news out about Google. We got another message or a shout out on the All In podcast 2 weeks in a row when they were talking about Google, which was pretty cool to see. And it'd be interesting to see what happens with the antitrust stuff with Google as that shakes out. But not a bad spot to be in on our side, getting the attention from that. And I think too, like, finally, like, I just want to give a shout out to people with a lot of the Manifest 3 stuff landing. I've just seen like really great feedback from people in the community, like letting people that kind of are trying to bundle us in with the rest of Chromium that are impacted by this, and people putting up good tweets saying like, no, we're not, like, and doing good messaging and stuff that, typically I jump in on, but I was a ton of times I jumped into threads where, people are just right there on defense with it. It was really, really great. And we got some pickup on some articles there too. So I don't know. I'm pretty just want to give a shout out to everybody. Appreciate everything everybody's doing to keep Brave out there and keep talking. And kind of leveraging these opportunities we have now. And I see that Jenny's got the deck, so I will stand back and turn the floor over there.
There we go. Hi, everyone. Hope you've all been well. We'll run through the community update right now, and then we'll hand it back off to Luke. Guillermo is on vacation this week, so it'll be a little lighter than usual. Let's dive on in. So I know Luke just covered this a little bit before I got on, so I'll try not to be repetitive, and I'll just add some additional color. So Luke, me, Drew, and Carlos from BizDev attended the Rare Evo conference in Las Vegas last week from August 15th to 17th. It was a very Cardano-focused event, which was interesting because, historically Brave has not integrated or worked directly with the Cardano ecosystem all that much. So it was an interesting learning experience for us. It was a cool sort of forum for us to explore future possibilities for integration with that ecosystem. And like Luke was saying, the community was really great, really strong. There were so many great projects, like really building cool dApps. It was an overall just very illuminating and sort of eye-opening experience for me, at least. We had a dedicated Brave booth at the event, which was nice. So attendees could come up to the booth, meet the team, get product demos, get some merch. I can't tell you how many people we had coming up to the booth telling us how much they love Brave and that they recommend it to all of their family and friends. Honestly, not surprising at this point at these types of conferences, but a little surprising provided that, the Cardano community is sort of like outside of, the normal ecosystems that we, whose events we attend. It's not Solana, not Ethereum. So it was really cool to see how positively received Brave is, and for people to be excited about new and upcoming features like rewards moving on chain, and them being super excited about like the talk integration with Leo and Brave Search and all these other cool things that they didn't necessarily know about. So it was a lot of fun getting to talk to folks, and I think we made lots of valuable connections that may turn into something good down the line, whether it's brands that will become ad sales clients because they want to, grow their brand and gain exposure, or, whether it's community collaborators. We certainly have a lot of leads to sort and follow up on. So we'll be busy doing that for the next probably week or two. And then, of course, Luke did a panel. I'm not sure if he mentioned it, but he did a panel on the intersection of AI and blockchain with representatives from Deloitte and IQWiki and Genus AI. There's a picture of it on the right side of the slide here. I am trying to get the broadcast or recording from that panel, and if I track it down, I'll be sure to share it with the community on X. And then on the right there, on the left, that's a photo of me with a rep from Hypercycle, and they're doing a bunch of cool things. But one of the things that they were promoting at Rare Evo was this like little wearable where that has like NFCs built into it. And you can like program your social media, your contact info, so people can just come up to it, scan it, and it'll direct them to whatever properties you link to that wearable device, which is pretty cool. Okay, and then here, just showing off some photos from the event. So this was our Brave booth while it was being assembled. They actually set us up in the wrong place at first. They put us right in front of the main stage, which was, we actually ended up having a very good placement at the expo. We were like in front of the main stage, but like off on an angle. And originally they had put us like directly in front of the main stage facing it. And then we got moved. But yeah, so these are just some photos of that from Drew. And as you can see on our booth, we had the QR code to download the Brave browser. And then we had some messaging about, where Web3 projects find their first million users, meaning like we can utilize Brave ads and BAT to help Web3 brands gain exposure to very Web3 heavy audience that we have in Brave. I can't see the chat. Hopefully no questions. Hang on. I'm going to open it up real quick.
It's just
Yeah,
You're
you're
not
good.
missing anything. We're just shit posting. Keep going.
Okay, that's fine.
Just
All
talking
right.
about Luke looking so stumped.
Just matching my portfolio.
Okay, cool. And then some more photos from some of the talks. That was not Luke's panel on the left, was a different one. And then this was one of the VIP parties where Elijah Wood, the actor, was DJing, interestingly. So that was pretty cool.
DJ Frodo.
DJ Frodo. And then a little GIF here from Luke's panel. Like I said, I'm going to try to track down the full recording to share with you all. And then just some pictures that I thought were funny. This person had a tag like, hello, my name is looking for a Cardano girl. And the merch that they were giving away at the event, one of the t-shirts that I actually got was like a Brat green, if you are familiar with, a Charlie XCX Brat album, which is like, very much the cultural moment right now. It was like the Brat green background, and then it said Cardano girl and like the Charlie XCX, blurry Comic Sans font. So that was very funny. I'll try to get a picture of that to share. But yeah, so that was Rare Evo. If you have any questions, let us know. It was a blast. And you may see some collaborations spinning out of this. So stay tuned.
Jenny did a fantastic job, by the way, with everybody that came to the booth. It was awesome.
Thank you. So did Drew, and honestly, so did Luke, and so did Carlos. That's why they send us to these events, because we try to be gregarious and friendly, and we're very passionate. And it's always nice to hear the feedback that like, oh my God, the Brave team has such great energy. I hear that so many times whenever we do conferences, and I heard that many times this time. People were like, I just want to spend time at your booth because you guys are so passionate and have give such a great pitch and have such great energy. So yeah. Thank you, Luke, though. All right, so let's move on. We have a new Bat meme contest. It's summertime. Things are a little slow, but we definitely don't want the community to sleep on us. So we have launched a new Bat meme contest. So you are welcome. Anyone here, anyone on social, anyone watching the broadcast is welcome to participate. It will be running for a couple weeks, ending on September 3rd. We will pick, the Bat community team will pick the top 4 winners based on, creativity, originality. The meme should be funny, but doesn't need to be. And then social engagement. So we're going to look at the likes and retweets on each of the memes as well. We know that some people struggle with memes. It's like not everybody's thing. So we actually created a bunch of templates based on memes that are trending right now. So you can just download them from the thread, and you can make Bat and Brave memes using those templates if that's easier. But we want to get everyone involved in tweeting. We already have a couple of submissions. I think that Dave put in a few. I put in a few. Battern probably already did a few. But you have plenty of time. So please participate. We always love to see what you got, and it's been a little while, and we could all use a good laugh. So get in, and the top 4 winners will win 250 Bat each. So yeah, give it a go. Thank you.
Make the memes, fools.
Yes, make the memes.
Make the memes. I love you. I make the memes.
And lastly, from my side, our work with the Unfungible team has been going great on our weekly X/Twitter Spaces events from the Attention Token X account. Last week, Drew and I were at the conference, but Paula, Battern, and Godson held it down. They did a panel titled Does Gaming Need Web3 with Sansa, our amazing host, and Everreach Labs, Nifty Island, and GameGPT. You can catch the recording on X now. And then for the next 3 weeks, I listed the upcoming spaces. So if any of these topics interest you, be sure to jump in. We have more customization, more power with CoMuseum, Kibbe Foundation, Zyro, and ARQX. Then on August 30th, we have the Attention Economy with CoMuseum, ARQX, Kibbe Foundation, and Parify. And then in September, we have our NFTs back with MinPad, KPR-verse, Maury's, Nifty Island, and Gangster All-Star. Check them out if you haven't. These spaces are a lot of fun. So much fun, in fact, that we're considering adding a second slot earlier in the week where we discuss topics that are a little bit more technical. We're still sort of planning that out with the Unfungible team, but we'll, of course, share details as soon as we have them. And I'm going to hand it off to Godson. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Godson, and I have your African Ambassadors update for this week. I hope I'm coming in clear because I'm like doing it from my phone this time. Great. Yeah, so we have a couple updates this week. Some cool stuff coming out of the continent. Let me start by giving Alfred a little clap for attending ETH Abuja last week. This was supposed to happen. Yeah, thanks. This was supposed to happen a couple weeks ago, but if you guys remember, I told you about the protests that were happening and all that stuff. So it was rescheduled, but he finally got around to it. It was it's a smaller meetup, but he got the chance to do a presentation about Brave and BAT and talk about our browser and the Brave wallet and all that stuff. I apologize for the background. Bikers are an interesting people. Yeah. So yeah, he did a little presentation for us and all that. I wanted to highlight these two pictures because I like the fit. Again, shout out the African ambassadors. The fit is always on point. But yeah, moving on. We also spoke to the Cyberchain guys sometime last week on Friday evening after the space. We locked down the media, barter sponsorship and everything. They also tried to upsell us on a full-time sponsorship. They were talking about how they can get us to 2 million downloads and that kind of stuff. I blew it off initially, but I spoke to Jenny yesterday, and she said that if they can prove it, then we'll put together a proposal or something, and I'll pass it off to you. You can then deny it if you want. But yeah, moving on to some Stan updates. Shout out Stan the man. As usual, Stan is booked out for the next couple weeks. He'll be in the University of Nairobi tomorrow for Nairobi Innovation Tech Week, a mid-sized event. He'll be representing us there as well. I don't think he's going to be speaking or anything like that. He doesn't really have a booth or whatever. But Stan is here. Maybe if he wants to come up and talk more about it, that'd be great. And then also this week, Stan will be going to Non-Fungible Africa in Nairobi as well. This is an NFT event. It's not set just yet, but we believe that'll happen. Of course, when he's out there, he'll do the usual approach that Stan does. I believe he's still the number one referral for all the ambassadors in Africa. So shout out Stan the man. And then finally, we have began the campaign for eSafari. I would like to thank God and Cheryl, and of course Luke as well, and Steve and everyone else for getting it going. We have a couple things to tweak through with the new tab notifications, but pretty much everything is all set on that campaign. It'll run till the 9th of September, so about 3 weeks from now. everything should be smooth sailing on that part. And then, of course, when the actual event happens, hopefully we'll be able to send Stan, Shidi, and Oxidus out there as well. So we'll have some representation and everything. But yeah, thank you, everybody. I don't know if Stan has something to say about the Non-Fungible Africa events, but if you do, this would be a good opportunity.
Hello.
Okay. Thank you, Jen.
Yeah. Hello.
Stan the man.
Hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Luke. Tomorrow I'll attend the Innovate Nairobi, which is being held by the county of Nairobi, which is the capital city of Nairobi. And it will be a 3-day event from tomorrow. And we'll have the blockchain track on Thursday, but I'm planning to attend as from tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. And then hopefully on Saturday, I attend the NFT Africa, which is one of the biggest NFT events in Kenya. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's it from us. We have some more stuff going on in the background. Adamak is trying to lock in something with Codal, but it's not set yet. So when that happens, we'll also bring you guys the updates. Thank you, everybody. Handing it back to you, Jen.
Yeah. Also, Godson, dude, I had a really good lunch with Crypto Wendy O in Vegas, and thanks for hooking that connection up, because I think she might start talking about Brave on her stuff.
That's cool. Yeah, hopefully, if that collaboration works out, then we can extend it to some more. I can go out there and bring in some more like names of that size too, who have multi-platform reach as well, and we can get that like whole thing rolling.
Yeah, no, it was great. Like, I mean, I think she's got like over 2 million like followers / subscribers across all the channels she's on. And what we're trying to do is work a deal where like, it's kind of reciprocal, right? So she has a YouTube channel she's trying to promote, and we've been seeing a lot of success with that from the pilots and stuff. And so it's similar to what we do with Karate Combat, where we all, kind of do stuff in kind, and she can keep us out there. And I think the idea too is to like, we've got a crypto presence out there with our products, but like staying out in the market and people's, content is like super important. And we've got this tool with the platform where we can help, established creators grow, right? Like, and so we're going to leverage that. And keep Brave out there, and try and hit different areas too. Cause like there's all these different spots that we kind of have less of a presence on, like, Instagram, TikTok, etc., where, there's just like millions of people. And, it's really cool talking with her, because she's also got like great insight into like, the differences in the audience makeup, and, where things work and where they don't. And from our side, it's like, look, like, your audience better than we do, and what, moves them. And so like, we know our audience and what we can do to like help, grow your channel. Like, let's kind of work together. And then, eventually you get to a place where people start to realize like, look, like I'm a creator, I want to grow my channel. Brave's kind of an ideal place to do that. And we've also been running a pilot with Andrew Forte, who's part of the Unfungible team, but he has a podcast called Andrew Knows. Andrew Asks How, that's what it's called. And we've been running a pilot with him, and it's been going pretty well. And so he's like, Luke, dude, like Google, like they try to have like YouTube creators advertise through Google all the time. You guys have a total play here with BAT and Brave, and with the ad platform, like you guys should totally work that. So it's kind of great because we can hit different people that are appealing to different sides of Web3 and platforms, et cetera, and kind of keep the movement going forward with people learning more and more about us that aren't necessarily exposed to us. So awesome. Godson was like key in getting that connection going, and really appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Thanks. Randomly, I know this is probably not there, but the Fund Bank guys have been emailing you. I'm not sure if you knew about that, or if you wanted, I don't know if there was like a parallel conversation happening or something.
I haven't been talking to them, so I can jump in and take a look and see if.
I wasn't sure if you guys had a parallel conversation or if they just kind of wanted to, like, I don't know, reach around.
No, I haven't had a parallel conversation with them at all. I've been kind of letting you, drive on it.
Okay. I'll spearhead the conversation again. Thank you.
Bring it in, my friend. Bring it in. Thanks, Gatsu, man.
All right, everyone. Raiding. That has been all on my mind this evening. Like, I couldn't think of what to do on my slides, so I was like, okay, I'm just going to go do some raiding until I figure out what I'm going to do. I think we've been smashing it on all fronts today. Everyone in the chat has been posting in. Everyone's kind of like got what they're good at. Like me and Keith have been doing a bit of tag teaming. He's more better at like the technical stuff. I'm better at the memeing. So it's good to just get everyone involved. If you see somewhere, even where it's not even relevant, bring it in. Sort of like, I just saw a tweet like, what's really unattractive in a woman? And I said, like, she uses Safari or Chrome. She should use Brave. You can find every opportunity on X to kind of shoe things in. So just go for it. And and if you don't know how to do a point properly, just bring it to the chat. And Luke's there. He can always advise. And because I wasn't quite sure, like someone brought up the point, which I've seen quite a bit often. You'll be out shilling Brave and it'll be like, oh, Chrome sucks, whatever. Install Brave. They'll be like, isn't it just Chromium anyway? And then I gave the best answer I could, and then I told Luke to get involved, and he wrote them a bloody essay. So yeah, I'll put that in my bookmarks for next time. But I think raiding's the way to go. Next slide.
Battern, where can people go if they want to help?
Oh, if you want to get involved, then I'm Battern on Twitter or X. Just DM me, tag me, somehow introduce yourself to me, and I can get you into the Bat Brigade group chat, which is where like the hub of the action is. I know we try and organize a bit of stuff on Discord, that is our main hub for organization, but you got a bit of latency there. You got to go from Discord to X. If you're in an X chat already, it's just bam, bam, bam. You see the tweet, you go in the tweet, you comment, you like, you add a meme, you add a comment, boom, in the algo. Someone sees it, oh, Brave's ace, I should download Brave. And then they do. We've seen cases of that today already. Also, the arena, I need to get involved on there as well. That's pretty groovy.
Yeah, I'd love to hear more about that too, at some point or later.
I'll get cracking on it tomorrow. All right, next slide. So after doing that bit of raiding, I thought I'd do a regular kind of update as well. So just yelling into the mic. So currently we're reaching out to the next round of recruits. I got put on hold a bit because everyone's on holiday. Keeping up with the regular meetings, fighting a good fight on X, as I said. I've realized the power of searching for Brave browser or basic attention token versus normally what I'd do is I'll just go on and I'll do the back hashtag, I'll scroll through, Raider X makes signals and all that jazz. But if you actually search for Brave browser or basic attention token, it's you get a lot more relevant places you can hit it up. And we're starting a Discord power hour with the team at once in the last section of Discord to boost the program, just so we get everyone there on deck once a day. So if anyone wants to know what to do or needs help with anything or just want inspiring, we're just going to be there every day at 5 p.m. GMT. And that's a bit of art I made with the AI. I think that's in the world, I know Brave has always been like a privacy kind of thing, but I think in the state the world's in today, I think there's definitely a lot more of an audience for that than we've ever really had, so I think we should really drill down there. And, there's a lot of people who believe the same things we do, so let's get them on board. And I'll pass it over to Paula.
Actually, I think Drew,
Yep.
you're next up. If
Yeah,
you're
it looks like it's me.
I got caught up with the alliteration.
Nah, good stuff, Pattern. Like, and I agree, like a lot going on in different places in different areas of the world as far as, privacy and freedoms and things like that. So definitely, and then, with Google and everything going on with them. So lots of opportunities to get Brave and Bat out there on the socials. So keep it up. Yeah, just kind of parroting what Luke and Jenny said. We were at Rare Evo. It was a nice conference. It's kind of nice that it wasn't like a big, huge conference. It kind of had its, perks for being a little more intimate kind of thing, but still plenty of people there and plenty of projects and things to get information from, and possible ways that we can work with some of these other projects like Jenny mentioned. But yes, overall, I think it went pretty well, as well as being able to get in contact and connect with the some of the bigger projects there like Cardano and yes, Caesar's Palace is huge. I would get like my 15,000 steps while I was walking around the hotel. But yeah, actually, and then another thing I saw earlier that Angelina posted update on the Polkadot and Brave ads that are running. So some pretty good click-through rates and engagement, and then 5 of the 12 new tab takeovers are run, 71 million views, 337,000 clicks. That's pretty impressive. I don't know if Luke wants to share more on that, but as it stands, looks like it's getting a lot of eyeballs, a lot of clicks, a lot of stuff for the partnership that was done with Polkadot on that. So, and then also going back to not just the Rare Evo, but in general, we got a lot of but specifically or a little more specifically with Rare Evo just happening and getting a lot of contacts. We'll be busy following up and working those leads and things like that. And then also that's on top of quite a few other things that we've got going on in the before that and whatnot. So, but lots of good stuff I think coming or in the works anyways, and hopefully we'll start seeing some stuff come through that really kind of helps push Brave and then Bat as we go along with whether it's influencers, other projects. Yeah, all kinds of, or people just buying ads, things like that, like kind of like Jenny mentioned earlier. So overall, I think we're ready to get back to work after the summer and get things pushing again and moving forward from here. Thanks.
Yeah, just a note on that too. With the Polkadot piece, we basically so we did this open governance DAO proposal back in I think in April, and it passed 97%. We're trying to kind of introduce the Polkadot ecosystem to Brave users. So right now we're right in the thick of it. We've got push notifications, new tab takeovers, news all running. Some of them you see are from Polkadot proper, just to kind of get awareness out for the network. Other ones that you see are for different dApps and players in the ecosystem. Yeah, and we're cooking through it. And I think similar to Cardano too, it's just a way for us to kind of introduce the Brave user base to some of the stuff that's going on there and see if it leads to something more as far as like wallet or other things like that. So super cool. Angelina did a great job. Yeah, she doesn't come on these calls mainly because she's based out of Europe, but like she's a really key player in the team, works really close with Carlos, and few people really can drill on the analytics like she can. She's really great. So appreciate the you adding that in there, Drew, because she's amazing.
Yep, no problem. I guess Paula, go for it.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I hope you're having a lovely day. So last week, our BAT ambassador from Colombia, Wilfredo, attended the Blockchain Summit LATAM in Bogota, where he, of course, represented Brave. So as highlights and achievements, Wilfredo achieved an increase in browser downloads with the QR code. He also established strong connections with several communities in Web3 to basically enhance our brand presence. In addition, with this, he had some discussions with several projects for possible collaborations in LATAM. And finally, he explored opportunities to organize spaces in X with different communities to create bigger visibility. So we'll work together to reach out to the projects and build from there. This is a bit of what happened at Blockchain Summit LATAM. However, I'm waiting for more detailed information on the key takeaways and photos and all of that of his participation to share like a more complete update for next week. So this was just a sneak peek. I'll have more next week, don't worry. Thank you.
Thanks, Pella.
Sure, my pleasure.
Thank you so much, everyone. Back to you, Luke.
Awesome. No, great rally. Bows, thanks for the arena link. I just jumped in and used your ref link to their Bows. It looks cool. It's super easy to sign up. I was very surprised by how seamless that was. I
was expecting to have to sign into a wallet or something.
Right. I mean, like I just made a post in the last 10 seconds of seeing that link. It's pretty fantastic. I don't know.
I gotta go like your post on.
Yeah, so and I know Drew, you got a hand up too. Bows, man, like tell us about the arena, because I just obviously blindly jumped in like a moron, but I'm just I like to do that kind of stuff. But what's the arena about? Like what makes it different from like X or other socials?
So I am definitely not an expert on it, given I basically was only on it for a few days before I was out on vacation the whole time. But I mean, I would say some of the top things that stood out to me initially were easy to sign up, especially if you have like existing socials like Twitter or X. It definitely seems a little more crypto focused. Like it looks like you can get into like group chats if you buy people's tickets, quote unquote. Now, I'm not sure if everyone like actually uses like their group private chats on there or not. I kind of got involved in it because they were doing something for Mad Labs in it, and I figured, hey, let me check that out. But yeah, there's some like crypto like aspects to it with like tipping and stuff like that, and where you can also use crypto to buy people's tickets, which apparently can go up or down in value, and then that kind of can get you into different chat groups if you want to. I haven't really messed around too much with that yet, just because I haven't been on it that long, but I have actually had some people tip me on it already, even though I haven't really done a whole lot on it. But more like a crypto oriented version of X, kind of.
Yeah, it looks like a Avalanche or something, maybe.
Yeah, Avalanche is their main thing they're doing over there.
Pretty slick.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah, I remember this one. I did get on there a while back. It's the Avalanche one, kind of like the Friend Tech or whatever. I think there was another one on Base or something like that. Kind of similar ideas. Just social with being able to buy people's kind of tokens based on, if you think it'll go up or down based on their social and stuff like that. But yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, cool.
Yeah, no, it's great. I'll play with it a little bit more. It seems like an interesting one. It certainly is probably one of the easiest ones to jump in and do something with.
Yeah.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks for turning us on to this.
Yeah, I mean, I just figured, hey, a new place that I can post about Brave. I'll check it out, kind of like I did with Mastodon back when it was had a little bit of action going on with it.
Cool. Yeah, so I see C-Ray's asking in the chat too. Luke, long ago, Jimmy mentioned on a community call that Brave might explore Web3 options to replace extensions. Brought up when people asked about Brave getting an extension store. Is this something on the roadmap, or was just a passing idea? I think we kicked around this, and if anybody else from the Web3 side is on the call and has feedback on this, like feel free to jump in too. But I think that I think one of the things I'm trying to remember when it was that came up and what state of things we were in. But right now, I think a lot of focus is on just kind of table stakes around, getting bad on chain and doing things and getting the wallet stuff, table stakes kind of squared away and working optimally. But we've been looking at different options for how to showcase things in the wallet. And also, the challenge with these things sometimes is that the trends are here and gone. And, there's got to be a way to kind of, one, surface things as they're trending and new, but then two, like get rid of stuff that's old. And the shelf life for crypto dApps is like Web3 dApps is like pretty short in the scheme of things. So I think there's a balance there. I don't know, Kyle, you're here. Like, what are your thoughts on stuff like that, where it's like a dApp store or something like that?
I know we were working. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. I know we were working on dApp Radar at one point, and I saw that go through security review. So I don't know when that actually got turned on, but that was like one of the things we were looking at within the wallet itself was basically trying to enable dApp Radar built within the wallet, and that may be a case where it's still working through the release cycle, and then once it gets to the release cycle, then we'll do feature flag testing. So we'll just kind of turn it on for a limited number of people just to see how it's going and stuff like that. So that's probably the closest to that.
That seems like a smart way of doing it too, because it's more of an index approach, right? Like instead of like super high maintenance thing that we've got to be on top of with like making sure everything is like working well and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that went through, and I saw it was open in April, got merged in May. So my guess is it's been done at this point, but I'm not sure as to what their release cycle is. Let me check the PR real quick. Explore Web3 page, V1.69. So I think that means it should either be in production or coming to production here very shortly.
Sweet.
Because I believe that's release cycle at this point. I haven't seen the feature on personally.
Me neither.
So I don't know what's going on with that. I'd have to double check with James, but I mean, the code's in there. So then it's just about figuring out how to turn it on. If anybody wants to take a look at what that might look like, there's the PR. There's a video in there that you guys can watch.
Awesome. I was checking flags too to see if anything showed up, but I don't think so yet. But
yeah, I think we were going to do it as a Griffin flag.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
It's a new approach that we're trying, just because we've had a few features where we turn them on and then all of a sudden it actually like causes regression in the wallet. So, part of the, management of dealing with finances and stuff is you don't want stuff breaking. So it's a approach that seems to be working pretty well for us on the wallet side.
Yeah, no, it sounds smart, and definitely know when people hit snags, they don't like them for sure. So that's great. Baz, you have a hand up. What's up?
Hey, Kyle, good to see you. I was just wondering, do you have any updates related to the Braybot in terms of simulations on Solana? I know we had Brave sponsor some stuff with like Moonwalk, for instance, and it kind of gives you a somewhat scary warning message for that even. So, I mean, I know there's extensions you can install that will kind of help you with simulations as well, but it'd be kind of cool if we could get some of that built in.
Yeah, it's actually done and it's merged as well. This one, I know we were working on a flag, and I had to, when I was testing it in Nightly, I had to turn on the flag itself. Let me see if I can figure out which one it is. Simulation. There it is. So if you want, you can visit this flag here, and you can enable it, and it should be able to start working in nightly. I don't believe it's hit production yet, though, because it was a more recent one.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man. That's awesome to hear. I'll try to like sign up or do something with a site that I know it would normally flag and see if it fixes things. But that's great to hear. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And I think there've been some pretty significant improvements. Always room to improve even more. But it's fantastic to see people enjoying it and reporting that things are working more smoothly. Marty McFly was asking, thanks release date for mass rollout. Are you talking about with the on-chain reward stuff, Marty? I'm guessing. I can update on that too. So I think that we were talking, some from our payment side was saying they were sending out over like 1 million CAPTCHAs, and had several 100,000 people confirm them so far. And we're waiting for more people to come in, and then they get invited to link their self-custody wallet. So that's rolling out right now. But that's not all the people, right? Like I said, we several more phases after that. But I think it's by far the biggest cohort that we've released this out to so far. So if you have a CAPTCHA show up from rewards, solve it, and then you'll get your invite. I don't know, Kyle, if you had anything you want to jump in on that too.
I know we were just discussing about starting a waitlist approach as well, to be able to do that. I assume most of you guys would have reached out previously, if you haven't already received an invite. If not, let us know, and your participation in this community calls definitely goes a long way for us wanting to try and shortlist you and get the feedback and stuff like that. So we're just kind of doing a phased rollout with this, just because there's a lot of changes that it's predecessed on that have been a long time in the coming. And then also it's changing how we're approaching it quite a bit. So it requires us to take on some compliance aspects and stuff like that as well. So.
Yeah, that's a great point there too. I mean, I think they're also kind of changing out some of we added Helios to the wallet in July, and as RPC provider, and I know that our payments team is working on that too for the payment side and stuff. And but it is really cool to see that we're at the point now where we're rolling this out to let people, millions of users start to solve that and get toward that path to being able to do self-custody if they want to. So I think it's like such a huge piece of this. I know there's been a lot of frustration, like with VBAT deprecation, and then with custodians kind of pulling back support on a lot of regions and stuff like that. And this is really like the best way to get those people that want to be here participating in the ecosystem. It's like the best part. It's kind of pretty rough when you get somebody that's not just converted on Brave, but like is so into it that they want to be part of the ecosystem, and then they just can't play. And so super stoked for that to keep rolling out. And we have a couple other like pretty awesome updates in the next few weeks that we'll be talking about here too. But yeah, I think that this is just kind of more of like the big mantra this year is just getting stuff on chain as much as possible and trying to like optimize for that. And then we've also been meeting with a couple other folks too. I don't know if you guys saw, we had the mainly thanks to Drew, the Pudgy Puzzles new tab takeover yesterday. And then part of the pilot we were talking with Andrew Forte about, he had Luca Netz from Pudgy on his podcast too. And we ran a pilot for that episode, and it did really well. And so, we've been getting really great vibes from the Pudgy Penguin community too. And I think that, probably some more crossover too with that community in the near future with Brave and Bat and getting the word out on both sides. But I think it's really super cool to see how we're at a stage now where like, I think Pudgy's definitely like stands out in that they have stuff that's in like Walmart that my kids would buy, like with, you know, Tooth Fairy money or whatever, which is pretty cool that they've gotten distribution at that level. But it gives us like a huge opportunity with the ad platform, because this is where we like shine, right? Like that's something where it's, you don't have to be like a Web3 native to like support a Pudgy project. And the really cool thing I think that they're doing, I think it's what it's called Overpass, right, Drew? Where like basically like an incubator, and correct me if I'm wrong here because I'm probably wrong, but like if you hold one of these, you know, NFTs, you get the IP for that, and then, you know, they're letting community members kind of start projects with that IP with Overpass. Is that correct, Drew?
Yeah, basically makes it real easy for people that want to let other people license the IP, and then people to license the IP, like kind of that go between the two, just kind of, it's all, you know, on-chain kind of thing. And basically the contract and stuff is all in there, and you just sign it through your wallet, and makes it easy for companies that want to license IP to connect with people looking to license their, say, their penguins or whatever.
Yeah, and so it's pretty awesome because like one, like we can take what we did with Brave and Bat and use it to help where they've got like almost like incubators or launch pads or wherever you want to call it, like, you know, VC bingo word, but like you know, we have an opportunity as Brave kind of to be a pretty scrappy channel partner for growth for a lot of these things. So, you know, it's pretty awesome to see that, you know, here's an interesting use case for an NFT project to be, you know, building off that IP licensing and building a business out of that for the holders. But then also like we're able to help grow that in a way where it's, you know, pretty familiar for people that are doing stuff online, whether it's just buying a puzzle, like it's super cool. And we just put it on the new tab page. And then, you know, from what we were seeing too with the, Drew worked with some of the folks to like get the Pudgy penguins and some of the new tab takeovers for Brave Talk and a few of the other products. And, you know, the engagement rates were higher on those than they were. We've been running, you know, standard house ads for those for, you know, months and months. And so it's cool to see how we get love on X from the community when we do this stuff, but also like the engagement rates and the data like look pretty solid too. So more to come on that. But I think, you know, these kinds of interesting kind of channel partnerships are really cool ways to grow like revenue with Brave, but also like, you know, keep us out there and current with the Web3 space more broadly. And we're doing similar stuff with Bandit too, where they kind of are working in a similar thing to like what Salesforce does with like ad credits, where they're bringing in new customers in their SDK for quests, and like they can include Brave ads as a component of that package. Where look, if you have a quest and you integrate our SDK, you could promote it with Brave ads to their audience, because, you know, we had some pretty good results from the Ukiyo one that we did a couple months ago. So you know, these are early partnerships that we're kind of forging forward, but we're at a phase now where, yeah, like you can buy your kids a penguin, or a penguin puzzle, you know, it's pretty rad. But I think we're waiting on some data for the Pudgy puzzle sales. I was bugging Drew about it about an hour ago, and he's like, yeah, we're still getting a little bit of time from reporting from that stuff. But I think you guys said you saw some sales come in, which is cool. But yeah.
Yeah, there was at least a few, and I know the push notifications and stuff were going out as well, but definitely a huge spike in, you know, eyeballs on the project and stuff like that for sure.
Yeah, and one of the cool things too, when we were at what's it called? Rare Evo too, we ran a bunch of new tab takeovers for them, and event organizer like pulled me aside and said, you know, like thanked us for you know, the barter on that, and said, you know, they saw a huge spike in increase, and they had more vendors this year. I think it was double from what they had the previous year, and they said they saw a ton of traffic coming from Brave from those new tab takeovers that we were doing. So it's pretty cool that we can leverage these tools. Like Godzone was saying, it's like a WMD kind of built into this thing in a non-kinetic kind of way. But I saw C-Ray, you had a question. C-Ray has a question I had about encryption. such as for sync and password storage. Any thoughts on deviating from the current setup, which essentially uses the OS crypt? I know some have wanted to be able to use passkeys or something instead of relying on OS credentials. I think Kyle probably is best equipped for that question.
Yeah. So funny thing about passkeys is they're pretty much always going to tree down to OS level stuff effectively. OS crypt passkeys can be used in that way if you have an extension enabled, which isn't enabled with every particular authenticator. So for example, I was testing this a while back. It's called the PRF extension. It was originally built to be able to unlock operating systems. And now that's what everybody's trying to use to be able to like encrypt data and stuff like that with wallets, which my arguments is that's actually a bad use of the passkeys extension and the passkeys API, but that's here nor there.
Why is it bad? If you don't mind me.
It's an abuse of the semantics. And what I mean by that is passkeys are designed as an authentication mechanism, not as an encryption mechanism. And so really the answer here is if we want hardware backed crypto, we should be using the Web Crypto API. So essentially, because of the way that the JavaScript is designed, it can create side effects that we don't expect as the underlying APIs themselves are evolved over time. Whereas the design of Web Crypto is actually better fit to be able to do these types of generic low-level cryptography. So I've actually went and written up a explainer to be able to share this around with standards of like how you should approach this. But essentially, passkeys are designed for high-level use case of log into a website only. They're not really designed for, hey, let me go, manage my keys from my wallet and stuff like that, or encrypt my password manager or anything like that. As for the actual question, though, about using it for sync and password storage, we've been working on Sync v3 for a bit now to be able to change some of these things. And actually, just recently, I was seeing a discussion about how we might integrate password storage into this sync. There's a few trade-offs that we're still discussing and stuff like that. It's not being coded at this point in time, so it's a long time coming in terms of like when we'll actually be able to see it and use it. But the point here is basically, we're talking about it, we're considering it, and weighing the different approaches at this point in time, and TBD in terms of if and when it's usable.
Awesome. C-Ray, I see you got a hand up still.
Yeah, no, right. I was going to jump in on what he was saying. So I know you kind of touched on it at the end, but the main thing that people is getting at is they're moving their files, like their user data file, over when they're doing something like restoring a computer or moving to a new device. And then, of course, they can't access their passwords because things went wrong. Or in other times, they changed their password and somehow that messed up the credentials. Now they can't access any of the saved passwords in Brave. So just as people have been griping about all of this stuff, or the recent issue of Android, people actually have a password set, but Brave isn't recognizing it. And so it's not allowing them to sync their passwords. So while we're having this headache, it was saying, do we have another option that we can consider moving to instead of the existing system? And I think you're saying that you guys are trying to in V3, correct?
Yes and no. So Sync v3 is related, and it came up as a potential way to solve the problem you're describing. So basically, we saw the community thread forums that I assume you're talking about, and started discussing it again. And that was one of the topics was, could we use Sync for this, and how might that work? How do we change the encryption? Because part of what we're looking at with Sync v3 is how do we want to change how the synced objects are encrypted. So rather than needing a seed phrase to be able to perform the syncing, we want to take a different approach. And if we do that, does that mean that we're requiring every user who wants to be able to sync their passwords or migrate have to set up an account, which kind of goes against the value of Brave being anonymous and being able to do it without the services set up and stuff like that. So requiring that sync in order to be able to achieve that does seem like it's a trade-off. So, it's not ideal to try and force people to have to turn on sync in order to turn on the browsing or the password manager is an example of like one of the trade-offs we were considering.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Awesome, gang. Well, appreciate everybody jumping in today. We're 2 minutes over time, so we will be back 1 week from today. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thank you all for joining. Great updates from the team. And until then, I'll see you all online. Have a good one, everybody.
Thank you. See you guys.
See ya.
Right on.
Thanks.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye, everyone. Take care.